Explosive news drops. Newcastle's Champions League dream shatters against Barcelona. Anthony Elanga scores twice, but it's not enough. Eddie Howe's men collapse in a 7-goal thriller. We've got massive updates from the world of football that you cannot miss. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss a single second of the action.
Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Newcastle's Champions League hopes were brutally extinguished by a rampant Barcelona, who secured an emphatic 7-2 victory. Despite 2 early goals from Anthony Elanga that had given the Magpies a glimmer of hope, Eddie Howe's side imploded in the second half, conceding 7 goals to crash out of the competition. Key players like Kieran Trippier and Dan Burn were cited as being at fault for crucial defensive lapses, underscoring a night of defensive frailties that proved too costly against the Catalan giants. The scoreline, a resounding 8-3 on aggregate, marks a painful end to Newcastle's European journey this season. Fans expressed their disappointment online, with many calling for a defensive overhaul and questioning Eddie Howe's tactics. Pundits highlighted the stark contrast between Newcastle's spirited first-half performance and their second-half collapse, with some suggesting a lack of mental fortitude. The community is buzzing with debate over player performances and what this means for Newcastle's future ambitions. This wasn't just a defeat, it was a statement from Barcelona. What happens next for Newcastle, and who's next in line for Barca? In a stunning turn of events, Barcelona has stormed into the Champions League quarterfinals, decimating Newcastle United with a commanding 7-2 victory. While Anthony Elanga's brace offered a fleeting moment of hope for the Magpies, a late Lamine Yamal penalty at halftime shifted the momentum irrevocably. Barcelona, after a thrilling first half that ended 3-2, unleashed a second-half onslaught, exposing Newcastle's defensive frailties and securing an 8-3 aggregate win. Player ratings tell a story of struggle for Newcastle, with Kieran Trippier and Dan Burn receiving low marks for crucial errors. Lewis Hall, however, emerged as a bright spark, contributing significantly to Elanga's goals despite the overall defensive shambles. The Newcastle fanbase is reeling, with social media alight with frustration and calls for significant changes. Barcelona's attacking prowess was on full display, but what does this mean for their next opponent? And what about the future of some of these Newcastle stars? Barcelona put on a dazzling display at the Camp Nou, emphatically defeating Newcastle United 7-2 to advance to the Champions League quarterfinals with an 8-3 aggregate score. After a captivating first half that saw Newcastle's Anthony Elanga net twice, leveling the score at 3-3 on aggregate before halftime, the Catalans shifted gears dramatically. Fermin Lopez opened the floodgates early in the second half, followed by 2 quick goals from Robert Lewandowski and a final strike from Rafinha, leaving Newcastle in their wake. The match was a spectacle of attacking football, with Barcelona showcasing their ability to dominate after the break, turning a tense encounter into a statement victory. Fans celebrated the dominant performance, highlighting Barcelona's resilience and offensive firepower. The defeat marks a disappointing end to Newcastle's Champions League campaign, with many supporters expressing their dismay at the team's second-half capitulation. Barcelona's statement win sends a clear message to the rest of Europe. Who will they face next? And what lessons can Newcastle take from this humbling experience? Barcelona has powered its way into the Champions League quarterfinals with a resounding 7-2 victory over Newcastle United, sealing an 8-3 aggregate triumph. Goals from Lamine Yamal, Marc Bernal, and Fermin Lopez complemented braces from Robert Lewandowski and Rafinha, overwhelming Eddie Howe's side at Camp Nou. Despite Anthony Elanga scoring twice for Newcastle in the first half, the Magpies' defense crumbled after the break, conceding 5 goals to seal their exit. The Catalan giants, aiming for their first Champions League title in over a decade, demonstrated their attacking might, leaving Newcastle bruised and battered. Rafinha commented on the crucial impact of home support and the importance of scoring the 4th goal early in the second half to calm the team. The victory, coupled with Joan Laporta's recent re-election as president, has boosted morale significantly. Barcelona showed they have the firepower to go all the way. But can they maintain this form? And what does this mean for the Premier League race? What a night of Champions League action. Barcelona demolished Newcastle 7-2, with Lewandowski and Rafinha bagging braces. Newcastle's Champions League dream is over after a stunning collapse. Don't miss any of the latest football drama. Hit that like button, subscribe to Barca FC for all the exclusive content, ring the notification bell so you're always the first to know, drop a comment with your thoughts on the match, and follow us on all our social media channels for behind-the-scenes access.